Big Blue Nation, what's going on? I'm Michael Spencer, and this is the Loyal BBN Fans Show. Oh man, my alarm goes off all the time for work, and it didn't even go off this one time that I needed it to go off. It just ruined everything that I wanted to do. This is alarms. I guess they only as good as a person who sets them, I guess. What's going on? It's good to be back online again. It is. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys. I know I'm late. I'm so late. I set my alarm. It didn't go off, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so upset. But I'm here. I just want to just come and just talk a little UK sports a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. As you guys know, that it's just a new format for how I do everything. It's no longer just a fan, but I like to call it the Fan Show because the Big Blue Nation is so much bigger than myself. So for me to just call myself the Loyal BBN Fan, I think it's doing an injustice to all the wonderful fans out there. So thank you guys so much. I really, really do appreciate it for you guys coming. I'm not going to be on too long. It is actually about 2:35 in the morning here. And they gave me tomorrow off, and so I just wanted to just take this opportunity to just come live for a few minutes and just talk some Kentucky sports. It's hard keeping up being overseas with the time difference and stuff changing so fast. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. So tomorrow they gave me the day off due to Kuwaiti work labor laws. They just had a 5-day holiday, and they didn't give us enough days off. So the government came back and told our company that that they got to give us another day off. So they're having to give everybody a day off, and tomorrow is my day off. So I just wanted to just come and just take this opportunity to just talk some UK sports. I'm going to talk about my loyalty to UK, my adventures here in Kuwait. Let's see, Kentucky basketball is filling out its team, and we're going to end with Kentucky football. Hey, what's up? So let's just get right into this. First of all, I've learned something about doing sports broadcasting over the last couple of days. I learned if you're going to do something like this, especially with a fan base like Kentucky, if you don't learn anything else, you have to have tough skin if you're going to do stuff like this, because you're not going to make everybody happy. And no matter how good or how good you want your stuff to be, you're always going to have people who's always going to find something wrong with what you do. I'm not going to spell every word right. I'm not going to put every word where it needs to be at all the time when I post something. And so I have to have a tough skin that when I do make a mistake, and I will make a lot of more mistakes as well, there's a lot of people out there who will definitely call me out, and not even in a nice way, just to call me out, just so they can call me out, just so they can look good. But I appreciate when people call me out on some of the mistakes I'm actually able to do. Another thing that I've learned, though, is that I had to do some soul searching, and I realized that as a sports broadcaster, as a sports communication guy, I realized that I'm a conversationalist, and I like starting conversations. But I want people to understand one thing. I want people to understand that when I post things, it doesn't mean that I don't like Cal. It doesn't mean that I don't like Kentucky sports. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to just get people to fight. My posts are never meant for that. My posts are always meant to engage conversations and for people to talk, hopefully civil, and just have some good UK conversations. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on right now, so just to be able to keep the chatter of Kentucky sports going is what I enjoy doing. That's what keeps me going while being overseas. It gets rough over here sometimes because you get lonely and you get in a routine where your routine consists of you being all by yourself a lot. So for me to be able to post a question and to just to get some feedback and just to see what people around Kentucky thinks about Kentucky sports and stuff like that. It does a lot for me. It really helps me. But I realize I have to have tough skin, because no matter what I ask or what I say or whatever, it's always going to have a negative impact on somebody, and somebody's always going to have something to say. So thank you guys if you catch my spelling errors, and if I'm able to go back and change it or whatever. I don't mind going back and change it, or grammar, I use the wrong word, but people, I realize, I sit and I listen and I watch it, and people do not mind calling you out on your mistakes, and so I appreciate that. But I learned I have to be a lot stronger. So my loyalty to UK is always going to be firsthand, no questions asked. But my questions are definitely meant for conversations and not for division, and not for strife, or not to cause arguments or nothing like that. But I just want to cause good conversation. So next, I want to talk about what's going on here where I'm at. It's for me to be here talking to you guys right now is like a miracle, because this is the country that has the worst driving in the world. 9 out of 10 people watch their phone while they driving. Like, they literally watch their phone while they driving. And then you'll ride down the road and you have lines in the road, and then the lines just go away. And then you just in big open space, a big 6-lane highway with no lanes, and people are going and coming as they complete. And they don't use blinkers, they don't use anything. They just, and they speed up on you, and they get to you, and they just one second you look in the rearview mirror and you see nobody. The next you look in the rearview mirror and you got a Lexus or a Corvette behind you, blinking the lights really, really bad for you to move over. And it scares the crap out of me most of the time. So I hate driving. Unfortunately, I'm forced to have to drive. But it's being here, it's just, I cannot wait to get back. And if you guys think that wherever you live at has the worst drivers, then you guys need to come here, because this place is horrible for driving. And I hate driving. I hate it. But that's my fear every single day, that I get up and drive to work, and that I come home every day. It's just, can I make it home today? It's one day at a time here driving. So that's my adventure, and I have to deal with that anxiety and fear every single day, and I still got months to go to deal with it. But that's what's going on here with me in QA. So let's just get in. Everybody's talking Kentucky basketball, and I'm gonna get into football as well too. I don't want people to think that I'm neglecting football, because I'm not. But in sports move so fast that you have to address the things that people are talking about here and now. And right now it's Kentucky basketball, and not to throw any shade on the football team. Right now it looks like I will be home in December. I can't count down the days already. So it's hot here. It's hot every day. It's like walking outside in a hot oven every single day. And you would think that as the day gets about over, you would think that it would start cooling off outside. It just gets hotter as it gets later. It gets hotter outside. It's like it goes from, like, at 1:00 it may be 99 degrees, and at 5:00 it might be 111. So it doesn't really get any cooler. Yeah, just in time for great basketball. Absolutely, I sure will. I'm really excited about that for sure. So, but with college basketball, now when I went to bed last night, the last thing I saw was C.J. McCollum, I guess, or not C.J. McCollum, but C.J. Frederick. I guess some kind of tampering with him before he made his decision. Sports just changes so fast, and I'm glad he actually made a statement that that's not true. That's not even what I was going to talk about beginning. But as I was closing my eyes, I saw that, and I was like, man, and it's this old school who I guess feels some kind of type of way that that UK came in and took him. But if the kid wanted to go to Kentucky and the kid just wanted to change, I shouldn't be upset with that at all. Kids are transferring right and left these days. So he's, he's no exception. If the kid wants to make a decision at the last second that he wants to go play somewhere else, especially at a team like Kentucky, we acknowledge kids and we let kids go who kids want to go. So I don't know why other schools has such a problem of allowing their kids to leave school just so they can go to Kentucky to play basketball if they have opportunity. They understand what's at stake by coming to Kentucky. It's no secret whatsoever. You come to Kentucky, you're going to play on the highest stage. Another reason why Kentucky basketball, not just the roster, not just who's going to be on the team, but another reason why Kentucky basketball, especially with Kentucky fans, are so talked about still at this particular time of the year is because we're feeling some type of way about last year. And we're ready to get this started. Doesn't mean that we don't want to see our football team get on the football team. On the football field. It just means we're ready for redemption. And for me, my name for the Wildcats next year is Redemption Cats, because they got to make up for this year last year. And I think Cal and the team is bringing together a squad that I really think can really be good. Really good. We did get Willer, and the thing I want to say about Willer is I know Willer wasn't a great 3-point shooter. I think he was on like 29% from 3-pointers. So I don't know if Cal brought him in for the purposes of shooting threes, but what Cal did bring him is for what he can do on that court when he has the ball in his hands. Let me make sure I put this right. If he totally does the right thing with the basketball, he did. I looked up some numbers last night. And he did actually have the most, that he was ranked like the number 6 point guard in the country, number 7 in the country. But he did have like the highest turnover margin. So he definitely got to control that turnover margin when he comes to Kentucky. He's got to understand that he's going to have to let the game come to him. And he's going to understand that Cal's bringing you in to be a floor general. We know what happened when we had when we had a little small Tyler Ulis and what he was able to get done. Am I putting them in the same shoes? No, I'm not putting them in the same shoes because that's not fair to Willard. Tyler Ulis was an exceptional young man, and he was crazy good. So I'm not putting him in the same shoes as Tyler Ulis. But what I'm saying is, if he comes in, if he understands, hey, we need a point guard. We got some shooters now. We need you to penetrate, pop out, throw the ball out, let these guys set these guys up, make the defense be honest. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow the defense just to crash to the middle of the floor because they're not afraid of our shooters. And I think if Willard does that, I think Willard can be very, very good here at UK because he has heart. So it's not a matter of bringing him in because we're going to try to groom him so he can have heart and he can have determination. That's already been proven. He can play at this level. He's switching over and then going up. So we know that he can play in the SEC. He was SEC leader. We need him as a floor general. Absolutely. That's what we need you for. Drive to the basket. Make sure that the defense is gonna respect your game and that they're gonna respect their outside shooters. Now, once he passes the ball out, it's so important for guys like Grady and Frederick and Allen. It's very important for those guys to be able to shoot that ball, and even Ty Washington. It's going to be important that he can hit it too well. But I think Willard is going to come in and help balance Washington and help him out to get him ready for this type. One thing that I will say is practice is going to be so exciting to watch these guys going at it. Now, no one knows right now. It's been a lot of speculations on Brooks and Mintz on when if or when they're going to come back to Kentucky. No one knows that, except the guys behind the closed doors. They know what's going on, but we don't. And I think that's another reason why Kentucky fans are just like, okay, what's going to happen? We're used to having our team right now. You know what I'm saying? We're used, with the exception of a couple of guys that may put their name on the drive and are they coming back or whatnot. But at this particular time, we're ready. We're used to having a team assembled and ready to go, so we can take a deep breath, and then so we can transition over to the football season because we're ready for football. We're ready to have Kentucky to get on the football field. We're ready to see who the quarterback is going to be. But being able to do that with the basketball team, I mean, we got now. I do have a concern, which I guess you could say we're playing small ball. I guess in a sense because we don't, unless I'm missing something, we don't have anybody over 6'9" next year. Everybody is under 6'9", so we don't have we don't have anybody 6'10" or above. So is that something that we're just going to just go with for the rest of the year? We're not going to worry about it. We're going to just let the guys 6'9", because even Oscar is only 6'9", unless I'm missing something. And I got these numbers from the UK website. So I don't know how we're going to combat that for the bigger guys, 6'10", 6'11", and stuff like that. But our guys do. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Now, these guys, they actually carry some weight with them. So they're going to have to be some dogs. I think that's how you get over that of not having that extra 3 or 4 inches that the other teams are going to have for those guys. I think you're going to have to be some dogs down below. I think you're going to have some wide bodies. I think you're going to have some big butts, as Ryan Leonard would say. So if those guys can do that, then I think we can really be effective. We can get up and down the court. I'm looking at everything. And, and not to throw any shade on him. And I know he can run the floor, too. When I look at this right here, right now, the only guy that may, and I'm glad he's back, Lance Word. He's probably the guy that would be the slowest getting up and down the court. But I know the way he plays ball, I like Word, and I like how physical he is, and he's not afraid to get down there. This is going to come down to one thing for this year in basketball. If everybody can buy in to do their job, don't try to do, I don't want Oscar to do Dante Allen's job. I don't want Dante Allen to do Oscar's job. I want these guys to know what they're there to do. And if they can do that job and do that job very good, I don't see why we can't have a successful basketball season coming next year. I mean, it baffles me if we don't. It's XL. So, we just gotta just do what Cal brought you in to do. If Cal brought you in to be a solid point guard, then be a solid point guard. Understand that. Don't get so ahead of yourself. We gotta get back to I want to do this for the team. The same motto for Kentucky football. This is for the team. Let's be teammates. Let's win together. And I think if those guys could continue to buy into that, and I think Cal will get them in there, and I think once they get in practice and everybody's there, who's going to be on the team next year, I think they're going to be able to run 5-on-5, and they're going to be able to go hard every single practice. So if everybody, we didn't have this last year, we didn't have that early time to practice and play against each other and all this kind of stuff. And but I'm really believing that when we go out. Our first game, our real first game, I really think that we can come out on top as a victory by beating those guys. But everybody's got to buy into their role. Everybody's got to do what they're supposed to do, and I think it'll be okay. But I'm excited. The new coaches are here. I don't know if I want to call Orlando new because he's just back home. Welcome back home. Welcome Chin. Thanks for everything. Thank you guys for coming to, thank Orlando for coming back to Kentucky. Thanks Chin for coming. They understand what's at stake here. And it's like it's just like Kentucky is revamping. It's like Kentucky's they're getting their mojo again. Okay, guys, here we go again. Let's fix this. Let's get this right. And let's become who Kentucky basketball is. And we want to get back to the gold standard of, we want to get back to the gold standard of college basketball so people can be like, yes, I want to go back to Kentucky. Now, if the fans, some of those 1% or less than 1% of the fans continues their nasty attitude towards players and towards all that, then, those players are talking, man. Those players are talking. And that they're going to know don't go to Kentucky. So those fans, I wish it was a way to mute them, but it's not. That's why they get to speak what they want to say, but unfortunately it's such a negative way. They won't be the last. So I'm looking forward to Kentucky basketball next year for sure, and I know you guys are too. And we're just ready to just get back to winning, and we're ready to just go and just, even though we've erased that year, it's still there because we haven't did anything. We haven't did anything to replace it with. So while we're glad the season is over, it's still fresh in our minds and our hearts of the year that we had. And I like what Swaggy Cow said. A lot of teams had fun at our expense. You know, a lot of teams had fun. Enjoy that off season because next year is going to come really fast. Quote from Cal. And so a lot of us cannot wait for basketball season to come next year. But we just got to wait and see, you know, what Mintz does and what Brooks does. And if neither one of those guys come back, it's a lot of rumors, a lot of saying that those guys will come back, which is great. I just wish they would come on back so we can get on the court, so we can get that time in as and gel as a unit. But I don't know who's going to be the odd man out. So because it's going to be like 11 guys, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's going to be about 11, 12 guys. So I don't know who's going to be the odd man out over there. Somebody's going to do something, but I look forward to seeing all these guys. Welcome to Grady. Welcome to Patrick. Welcome to Willer. Welcome to the new coaches, Kentucky basketball. You know, welcome to Oscar. Welcome to Damian, and welcome to Bryce. Welcome to Kentucky basketball, guys. This is what it's all about. We hope that you guys can make this experience what you want it to be. It's up to you guys on how you guys want your experience here at Kentucky to be. You guys decide that when you guys go on that floor, you guys decide how you guys want the outcome of the year. You guys determine that. So, but we feel like you guys gonna make the best decision, and we can't wait. So let's talk about Kentucky football. And another thing that I saw when I was going to bed, it's gonna be fun again. Absolutely, it's gonna be real fun. So I'm talking about Kentucky football now. Another thing that I saw last night before I went to bed. See, this is how fast time moves in sports. I didn't even get a chance to read, but I see that the new quarterback is actually on campus. He arrived yesterday. If you watch this, can you please? I'm gonna go back and read in the morning. But if you know anything about the new quarterback that's on campus, here we go again. You know, everyone. You know, from what I was reading and hearing, it seems that Gatewood seems to be the complete front runner for the starting job. But now you got a new quarterback on campus, another skill, another seasoned player on the field, coming in the locker room. How does that fit in? Does he just automatically take a back seat, or does he have a chance to start at quarterback? It's two things we want to see. We want to see a quarterback who is efficient, and we want to see receivers who's going to catch the ball. I think all the other areas of Kentucky football has evolved. All the other positions at Kentucky football has evolved and has come alive, and that has helped us become successful over the years. My question is, can our quarterback play in a sense of, can they throw the ball, and then once they throw the ball, can they put it to where the receivers are at, and then can the receivers catch the football? Because it's going to have to be that connection, because we're ready to see an air raid. We're ready to see guys throw the ball down the field. We're ready to see the long deep play. We're long to see the short pass and the catch and run game. We need a lot of yaks. We need a lot of yaks next year. We're hungry for a passing game. Now we do have the big boy Rodriguez, and I read something yesterday in one paper, you know, they have him as one of the top 10 running backs in the country next year. And he's lost some weight, he's getting faster, and it's just like, for him, I'm looking forward to seeing that, to how our football team really goes on the field and plays next year. You know, we got Kennard, which is a All-American, which is the number 2 tackle in America. So we got our big blue wall. Our big blue wall is there. It's safe. It's secure. Yeah, we having to fill some plugs. Yeah, we having to do a lot of that, but I think our line is safe. I think our D line is still good. I think we got to continue to put more pressure on the quarterback, though. We got to make him get that ball out of his hands. As much as it was nice to see us play a lot of SEC games next year, I'm glad that we have those other games that we playing out of conference games. Those are we need those games. Unfortunately, we need those games so we can keep our bowl streak alive. But that also gives guys confidence as the season goes along, because the season gets harder as the season goes along. And I think when they can play those games, those outside conference games, and get that confidence, it just builds. We got to beat Tennessee again this year. Tennessee's a dumpster. They're dumpster fire this year. Okay, I think we got to set the tone by beating Missouri when we play them early in the year. We got to beat Missouri. If UK football is going to continue to rise, if they're going to continue to get better each year, they got to beat Missouri. We gotta find a way to beat Missouri. We still got to beat Vandy. We got to find a way to beat South Carolina, and we got to beat Tennessee. Those are 4 games that Kentucky has got to get accustomed to winning every single year. We got to beat these guys. Mark Stoops them is they can only do so much. Once they get you on campus and prepare you to go between them white lines, it's up to you guys to go out there and execute and play football. We got the pieces in place. We got them in place. I mean, we putting people in the pro, which, speaking of the pro, congratulations to all 6 players who got drafted. And I think it was 6, and the other guys who signed free agent contracts and stuff like that. Congratulations to all those guys, man. Just to have that many people, those many kids from young men from Kentucky football in 1 year to either get drafted or sign contracts all in 1 year. That's big time, man. That stuff, that's a reflection of how Mark Stoops them is going out and recruiting. And they're not going out to get 5-star players. They would like to, but they're not getting a lot of 5-star players. They're not getting a lot of 5-star players. So what are they doing? That means that Kentucky is developing players to play at the next level. That's all that means. We're not Alabama where we can get 5-star players all across the board. So we have to get the players that we can get, which is good players. We're getting some high 4-star players. But Mark Stoops is bringing them in, and those guys are training them. Those guys are prepping them. Those guys are getting them ready for the next level. And by them doing that lets the guys that they're recruiting says, come to Kentucky. We can get you to the league. If you trust us in the process, we'll get you to where you need to be at. And I think that's so important that it buys in. Those guys who they're recruiting are buying in to what's going on. But at the end of the day, the guys have to go on the football field week after week, and they have to perform, because coach can't be on the field with them. They have to know how to execute once they get on the field. But I'm like for me, I have dates that I look for. I have dates that I look for that encourages me to keep going another day. Like football, it doesn't start until September. So I know that if I can just make it to September, then I'm good. I got to find a way to keep myself busy like everyone else, But I have to find a way to keep myself busy until September so I can have something to look forward to, and it helps my time go by as well. But football is going to be fun to watch this year over at Kroger Field. It's going to be fun. And one day I'll get home and I'll be able to watch a football game in person at Kroger Field. Don't know when that's going to be, but one day I get home and especially get to go to Rupp Arena. That's going to be a fun event as well. But I think overall Kentucky sports, great job. I know it's old. Great job to the volleyball team who won a national championship. Big kudos to you guys. Kentucky softball is hosting the regionals. I hope they're there to actually be in it. I'm not sure. Like I said, I can't keep up with everything. The baseball team, they're not having the best of the year. They're towards the bottom, if I'm correct, in the SEC right now. So we just, but Kentucky sports, the rifle team, I think of the rifle team or the shooting team, they brought home some more championships as well too. Track is doing outstanding. Overall, as an athletic department, Mitch Barnhart has the golf team. There you go, the golf team. The golf team is doing well too as well. Overall, the athletic department with Mitch Barnhart is excelling. Everyone's doing so good right now, and we have to acknowledge those student athletes who are giving it their all and coming out every day and making sure that they represent UK in the best way that they possibly can. And that's what they're doing. They're winning. They're competing. And that's all as a UK fan that you can truly ask for is those guys that come into UK representing themselves, the university, their families, and each other with team that they can be the best that they can be. But overall, like, I can't wait for the whole team. And like another thing with basketball, I think once we get our team, even if it's just Mintz and Brooks coming back, I think people will be able to take a deep breath and just, okay, I can ease out of basketball a little bit. Man, I let Kentucky go behind the curtain. I let them do what they do back there. I let them get ready. I trust the process that's for weightlifting, for exercise conditioning, for camps, all that stuff. I trust the process that is being done right, and now I can just excel, let that go, and then I can completely transition. I can transition into the whole football thing, and I think that's what a lot of people is waiting. So, and a lot of people actually are ready to actually exhale and kind of just let basketball go for a little bit, so they can get their mind right, so they can start focusing in on football. Because I am, I'm ready to dig deeper into football. I'm ready to touchdown Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. You look forward to hearing it. So it's just things about football that you just can't get into, that you can't get in basketball, and there's things in basketball that you just can't get in football. But I'm looking forward to all of that. I think I covered pretty much about everything. So we just gotta just hold tight for basketball. Let's just see what happens with Brooks and Mintz. I hope these guys do come back. I hope they announce sooner than later, so we at least know. And then, of course, once they, everyone's already starting to give their projected starting five next year. That's going to be very interesting next year. Even if Mintz and Brooks comes back, Cal's going to have a deep bench, man, a deep bench, and somebody's going to have to take their pride and their ego and put it to the side for the betterment of the team. Period. Everybody on this team can't start, but you got to just be ready when your name is called. I'm wondering, with all of this going on, where does Dante Allen fit in? I hope he's not. I mean, after last year, you would think there's no way that Cal can leave Dante as the odd man out. The guy's proven himself, man. You get the guy in the game, and you let him breathe when he gets in the ball game, and you let him relax, and you let him just let the game come to him when he gets in the game. If you let Dante Allen get in the game and just let him get in the game, don't just let him get in the game and then he make a mistake and then you take him out. That's a cop out, Cal. You got to give Dante Allen. You got to give Dante a opportunity to get in and get his feet wet and get going. Because you see, once he gets his mojo going, we don't even win a couple of games if it wasn't for Dante. So Cal's got to respect that, and Cal's got to see that this guy can play at this level, and he has to play it. I know you got Kellen Grady, I know you got C.J. Frederick, and I know you got Dante Allen, but we gotta find a way to get those guys in. It just is, because nobody's redshirting. Everybody's coming into play. Nobody's setting. So it's going to be interesting to actually see. I think one big difference with football, rather than than basketball is. You get to see that face during the whole ball game. Football, they under a helmet, they under shoulder pads. You get to see their names, and you know that that's so and so and so and so. But in basketball, you get to see their face, you get to see their actions, you get to see their emotions more so. But that's just my input on that. So, hey, sorry that I showed up late. Part of this job is to be where you're supposed to be at, be on time, start when you're supposed to start. That goes a long way. So it's amazing that your alarm clock won't go off when you got something else going on, but it never fails to go off when you got to get up and go to work. That's crazy. So I don't even know. It's late here. It's probably after 3 o'clock now. But hey, thank you guys for coming on and joining me. I really appreciate it very much. Thanks for the comments and all of that. I know it's getting late there where you guys are at, so I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. It's just getting earlier here, I guess. I try to go back to bed, I guess. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm Michael Spencer, and this has been the Loyal BBN Fans Show. Take it easy, guys, and go Cats.